Welcome to Meet the Maestros, a platform under the aegis of Vaikari, a collective of music lovers at Calicut. Today, we have an eminent musician, probably one of the best mandolin wizard in the whole country, that is Pandit Sugato Bhaduri. He is based at Calcutta. And welcome to this interactive session with Panditji.
Namaskar.
At the outset, I would like to extend our heartiest welcome to you to this ancient city of Calicut.
Thank you very
which is
much.
known as the, otherwise is known as the city of truth.
City of Truth.
It was the city of Zamorins.
Okay.
Zamorin was those 12 kings.
Yes.
And again, there is a confluence in Calicut. It is well known that there is a confluence of music, then football, literature, then these food delicacies, then hospitality, everything.
Absolutely.
So I am inviting, I am welcoming you to the embrace of
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And to start with, let me ask you regarding your musical trajectory. How do you start and how do you pull on?
Actually, in that sense, I didn't had a musical background as such, because although my father, he has learned from his uncle, who had been a direct disciple of Ustad Fayaz Khan Sahab.
Yes.
But none of them were professional, and later on, after completing teenage, my dad couldn't continue with music anymore, and finally he ended up with being a lawyer in Calcutta High Court. So then he continued his profession as a professional advocate, lawyer in Calcutta High Court. And in my case, I am the first one to start with a musical career, you know, living by playing concert and living through
You're a
music.
trailblazer.
Yeah, in that sense, you can say like that.
The flag bearer.
And as you can see, like I perform North Indian classical music on mandolin, so in that sense also I am the trendsetter, being the pioneer to render North Indian classical ragas on mandolin. And actually it started with listening to radio. I used to listen to Bollywood songs, and that helped me enormously. I listened to 60s to 90s, this music, Bollywood music.
Probably the golden era of Indian film.
Golden era. And still I can tell you, Mehroof ji, like if someone is going through that period, that 2 decades, 60 to 80, his half of the riyaz is done.
Done, yeah, excellent. That's a wonderful observation, sir.
Because you see, if you are listening to Mohammad Rafi, if you are listening to Kishore Kumar, if you are listening to Mukesh ji, and Lata Mangeshkar ji, Suman Kalyanpur, Asha Bhosle ji, so half of your riyaz is done. And half riyaz, we say, like if you practice, if you sing, or if you play any instrument for 2 hours, you must listen half of the time.
Yeah.
Because in Hindi there is one proverb, like Kansen to Tansen. Like if your ear is good, only then you can be a good performer or good exponent.
You have listened to good music first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my Guruji, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, he used to say, first you learn to listen. कैसे सुनना है वो सीखो. Then you listen to learn.
And sir, regarding that, music is the only form of fine art where the ears are put into perform. I mean, it
Absolutely.
is the duty of ears.
Absolutely.
Other than all other
Organs.
all other organs, it is the ears.
Yes,
Put into
absolutely.
action.
Absolutely.
So you imbibe everything through your ears,
Yeah.
and then directly it percolates to the mind and then soul. Then the musician inside is born.
And I listen to this, legendary film singers like anything. And then I got addicted to music. Music is the greatest drug you can get on this earth. And I believe there is no sort of rehabilitation in that sense which can help you quit music once you are in.
Yeah. You have now freedom, liberation. You are into it. You are fully immersed in it.
Absolutely.
Again, sir, let me ask you another question. Then, sir, regarding Indian music, it's told that the Indian music is one of probably the most disciplined and orderly music in the world. Whatever type of the music forms are available in the whole of the world, it is Indian music which is the most sublime, the most superb in that, and it is melodious. Whereas in the Western side, they say the hallmark of Western music is said to be harmony. In case of Indian music, it is a melody. How do you visualize that?
As far as the discipline is concerned, I can tell you Western music is also pretty much disciplined as far as the movement is concerned. Like as in symphony, you can see like first movement and second movement, these are coming up. And from that point of view, I will say Western music is much more disciplined and organized. But now coming to the point of creativity, Indian classical music rather, it gives maximum liberty to the artist, because with Western music it is composed just like Carnatic music, like any Tyagaraja Kirti or any other Kriti. It is a composed music, and
that means you have no elbow space to improvise.
There is no space
there is no place for your personal contribution.
No.
So as to have
The tempo is fixed. You can see in a symphony or in concerto, like all the 30 violin players, the hand is moving in the same way, coming down. So with the skill and perfection, Western music is something very great. But as far as improvisation, creativity is concerned, not even in Carnatic classical music you have that liberty. So it is like you are playing or rendering a composed music.
And the artist is destined to grow internally. He can improvise on that.
But with Indian music, what happens, like, why it is so difficult, and why, all over the world, we people have started dominating, may it be my concerts in Europe or in any other country. My listeners, they say, you have a definite frame of melody, like a particular ascending structure and a descending structure. Yet you have to improvise. Like, and you are playing without seeing any notation. There is no paper in front of you. And you go to the stage and you start to play the raga for 90 minutes, one raga, one scale you are playing. And that is really something challenging, because if you see, like probably 1000 people have rendered Iman. So now if I am rendering Iman in a concert of mine, obviously the question will arise, people will ask, like, why I should listen to your Iman? You should listen to my Iman because my Iman is absolutely different. Because it's an on-the-spot creation. Only the compositions, the guts, that is fixed.
So the framework is fixed.
Like Asthai and Antara and the Rag. But if I am performing today Iman and tomorrow I am performing Iman once again, it will be absolutely different.
Excellent, wonderful.
The same man playing the same composition, same tempo, same tabla player, same accompanist, but it will be different. Even if it is like same auditorium,
Same audience too.
It will be different.
He is venturing to different.
I will start in the same manner, but you know there is a point beyond musician. The point beyond musician. Point beyond human brain. Like I will start. I know, like I will start with the alap, and then I will start with the composition. I know the asthai and antara of the composition, but then uska jo बढ़त होता है, the improvisation of that composition, that is not fixed. Someday I will like to give emphasis on pancham. Someday I will like to give emphasis on any other notes.
Yeah. Right.
That is why you see Ustad Ali Akbar Khan, he never fixed up which raga he is going to perform that day.
Okay.
He used to see it and he used to tune his sympathetic string. The string which is sounding best, according to that note, he used to select the raga.
Improve too.
Like if Gandhar is sounding better, he will play a raga with Gandhar Jan, like Gandhar dominance or subdominant note, Vadi or Sambadi. If it is Pancham, he will play Pancham raga. Probably he thought, okay, I am going to perform Bhagesri today. It's a Madhyam raga. But then while tuning, he felt like, okay, my Pancham is going good. So, and it is sounding nice. So, he will change and he will start to play the alap in rag Hem Bihag. This is, I am telling you, the supreme level of creation.
Then, sir, let me ask you another question. That is regarding notes, swaras. Yesterday you had been telling about the Shakjam and also Pancham was static notes.
Static notes.
Other notes are dynamic. They
Dynamic.
Changing their morphology like that. So,
because with other notes you can get flat and normal.
Major notes.
Like Komal and Shuddh.
So, my question is, does a Shuddha note have any dominance over a Komal note with respect to creating a desired impact on the mind and soul of a listener?
No. Now I tell you one thing. If you consider a raga by its note, if you want to explain, like all the 7 notes is connected with 7 planets.
7 planets.
So, that is why Indian classical music in that sense is connected with astrology as well. That is why it has been a part of a Veda. That is why Indian classical music is called Gandharva Veda. And this Jyotish Vidya is directly connected with this. Like Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, all 7 notes are connected with 7 planets.
7 planets.
Sa is like Sun, Re is like Saturn, Ga is like Mercury, Ma is like Moon, Pa is like Mars, Dha it is like Venus, and Ni it is like Jupiter.
Oh, wonderful. So there's a strong nexus between
Absolutely.
planetary system as also the
Absolutely. Like if you were passing through a ruling dasha and Mahadasha and Antardasha as far as Jyotish is concerned, obviously your taste will change. A person running through the Mahadasha of Shani or Saturn, he will love to listen to something very much meditative. Because Saturn is darkness.
Okay.
Saturn is sacrifice. Saturn is surrender of your materialistic desire.
Yeah. You are entering the spiritual domain.
Spiritual domain.
Okay. So my question was, in contrast to the major notes, Shuddha notes, does a common note depict some type of melancholy or sadness?
Absolutely. Because you see, the use of Komal Swar, when we use, according to the 8 Prahar, like 24 hour is like 8 Prahar.
8 Prahar.
3 hours up 1 Prahar. So, if you consider 8 Prahar, Komal Swars, Komal notes are used during the dusk and dawn.
Dusk and dawn.
In dawn, in the morning, sunrise, and sunset.
Even sunset.
So why this is like that? We call it Sandhi Prakash. That means darkness is fading out by the sunshine, and again sunshine is going and darkness is coming into act. So that is the point when Komal notes comes. So it starts with Bhairav thought, and then slowly you can see like morning ragas, it is avoiding Komal swars, and during the sarang time at 11 o'clock, Sud sarang. So slowly it is going towards Shuddh Rekha. Komal Re is the sunshine, it is going. Again the sun's light is fading out and we are going towards Bhim Palas.
Again Komal notation.
And Pardeep. Shuddh Gandhar of Sudh Sarang is, and Tivra Madhyam, it is fading out. Shuddha Madhyam is coming into act. Bhim Palas and Pardeep, Komal Gandhar, it is. Then again, during sunset, again Komal Rekha is coming. Sri.
Okay.
Marwa. Again at evening 6 o'clock, onwards 6, it is getting Shuddh. Yaman. So you can see the time, like the same scale, like Marwa, you change the Rekhab, you get the full scale of Yaman with one note. And obviously the dominant and subdominant note matters. Marwa, even the subject is so complicated and so interesting. Marwa, Puriya, Sohini, using the same scale and same pattern. Tanpura is on Ni, but giving emphasis to Re and Dha, it becomes Marwa. Giving emphasis to Ga and Ni, it becomes Puriya. If you are singing in the lower register, it is Marwa. You are going to the higher register, it becomes Sohini. Uttarang. Purvang and Uttarang.
So, regarding certain ragas reflect and mirror the nature and natural phenomenon in a better way.
Absolutely.
That is another notion. So, can you elaborate on that?
That is, you can see, like we call seasonal ragas. Like when it is rainy time, you can see the rainy ragas like Megh and group of Mallars like Miyaki Mallar and so many other derivative of Mallar group. And Hemant is one raga before winter. Now it is the time of Hemant actually. From December 15th of December, the winter starts. And from 15th of February, it will be the time of Basant. Basant. And then, the rituals of Holi is coming. Everything is, like in a very planned manner. Because we get skin disease that time. So we start to take neem leaves in India. And we do this, holy things, like putting gulal on the skin to, control your epidermal, endodermal things.
So as to prevent this dryness.
Absolutely. Everything in that sense, I tell you, Dr. Mehroof, everything is, it has some reason behind. Now people say, context and scientific reason is there. Now nowadays people ask why I should follow my these rituals. What my it is all imbibed my grandfather and my grandma. But one has to ask these people, like your grandfather and grandmother, they were not idiots. Even they had little bit of intelligence. Maybe you are working.
They were more wise than us.
maybe you are earning more. Maybe you are good with IT things. But they were wise as well.
But there is a saying, the intellect, the intelligence, when it is not accompanied or covered by wisdom, it is futile.
Absolutely.
And also the science without science art, that also is futile. That is like that.
I always say, one is allowed to challenge, one is allowed to ask question, but for that also he has to do some homework.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I argue and if I challenge you, I should have some database. On that basis I can question.
With this, we conclude this episode of Meet the Maestros interactive session with Pandit Sugato Bhaduri, and hopefully we will continue with the next episode.